Hello everyone, Jake here. Today we're going to make an address sign with some stabilized maple burl, some hard maple, and something brand new from Alumilite. Here we go. I have this piece of stabilized maple burl. It's just under 3 inches. So I'm going to go a little bit less than 1 inch and I'm going to resaw with the bandsaw. Let's do it. Now that I have the sizes, these are all about 840 thousandths and I want them about 3/4 of an inch. So I'll have the machine cut it to 3/4 of an inch and then I'll part them off with the sander and that'll be pretty cool to look at.
Look out, here she comes. Woman that I love. It's too bad she'll never know. Yeah, I can't tell her how I feel, because she has someone who makes her happy. I'm a ghost in these walls, or at least I try to be. 'Cause I hope that I'm not showing her how I feel for her, but she won't feel the same for me. I've got this picture in my mind. It's just the two of us, just the two of us. But I know I'll have to try to let her go, because she won't be mine. I listen when she talks, I watch her when she walks. She's giving me these feelings that I've never felt.
Before we start using this new product from Alumilite, I'm going to talk about a past project. I used Alumilite Quick Set silicone to make this silicone pen blank mold, and I made some pen blanks with their clear slow, and they turned out really cool. And I sent a few of them off, and that pencil I showed you a while ago was from Emmett Newsom. He does a maker swap every month. This month was ours. I'll put a link up there to his video. Go ahead and check him out. He works real hard on his YouTube videos. Go check him out and tell him Jake sent you in the comments. Before we start, I have everything I need here. I have a torch to pop bubbles with. I have a little paintbrushes, little throwaway paintbrushes. I can get the sides and kind of smush it in places I need to. I have my timer and mixing cup and sticks, and I think that's about all we need. I always test how hot it is in the shop, and you just point it at the table and that's going to tell you it's 76 degrees, and I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it's 76 degrees. It's a little hotter than I like, so all I do at that point is I'm just going to minus some time that I have to work with this stuff. And while I'm mixing this, I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions, and we'll if there are any other questions, let's go ahead and put them in the comments below. So here we go, we're going to mix this. This is 1:1 by volume. So all I'm going to do is like kind of flood coat these letters. There are the numbers and then that backer. So I don't think that's going to take that much. It's 1:1 by volume, so I'm just going to go, I'd rather make too much than not enough, so I'm going to go 3 ounces and then to 6 ounces. And that should be good enough. And that's way, way more than enough, but that's okay. We're just showing you how to do stuff. I have my timer here, and we're gonna start it. And so now the things we need to know about this is you're gonna have 30 to 40 minutes to work with it. So that means let's just mix it kind of slowly, be careful, don't introduce bubbles. And it's the same kind of mixing instructions as everything else. Make sure you scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, mix it really, really well. You don't want to have this stuff and then it doesn't set up on you because you didn't mix it well enough. So just take your time. As soon as the swirlies go out of it, right now it's swirled. You can tell there's two different things right now. whenever that goes away, you'll know it's done. But it never hurts to mix it a little bit more. The open time on this thing is 30 to 40 minutes, so we're good on that. But I'm gonna shorten it up. I'm gonna make sure I don't go that long because it is hot in the shop today. The demold time is 24 to 72 hours, and then there's a full cure in 7 days. So you just come back in a couple days and it'll be ready to work with. It just won't be fully cured. One question is going to be, can you cast this and then turn it? You can, but when you turn resin, it kind of gets hot, and then this stuff will turn soft if it gets too hot for turning. So I guess the best answer on that is there's better stuff to cast to turn with. How thick do we want to pour this stuff? This is mostly just a top coat kind of a thing. You can pour it up to half an inch without that exothermal reaction when it starts getting too hot and stuff like that. So just keep it under half an inch and you should be fine. How are we gonna remove the bubbles? Today I'm gonna use a heat gun. I have a pressure pot, but I figured a lot of people don't have a pressure pot, so we'll go ahead and go with the masses on this one and let this be something that everybody can do. I'm gonna show you how to do it with that. The other way to do it is a fine alcohol mist, and I've never done that. And I've seen them on videos, they just kind of spray it over it and the bubbles go away. Looks pretty cool, but I've never done it. And I'm just gonna use the torch to do it. What else we got here? How long until it yellows? That's the whole thing about this. This is Amazing Clear Cast Plus, and the plus is that it has extra UV protection, and that doesn't mean UV proof. That doesn't mean it's never going to yellow. That just means that it's going to take longer to yellow. And I would imagine they're still testing it, but I think the tests that they've done, it's going to predict that it'll start to yellow in 1 to 3 years, depending on the heat and direct sunlight and things like that. So that's why I want to do an address sign with this, is because it's going to be on my front porch and I'll be able to see how long it takes before it starts yellowing and stuff, and it's no big deal. Well, now I've done enough yapping. We're going to do some time lapse and some music. Any other questions? Put them in the links in the comments below. So here we go. So I just poured it on there and it's gonna drip off. I'll have some cleanup to do on the backs, but that's no big deal, just sand it off. And then I'm gonna sit here for the next however long. And it doesn't take much to pop these bubbles. You just kind of go over it, like you don't even have to have the torch on that high, just kind of go over it. Don't stay in one place too long. And pop some bubbles if you see some. When you stop seeing bubbles, you know, periodically check on it, but if you stop seeing bubbles, just stop messing with it. Let it do its thing, it'll level out and it'll look good. So when we come back, this stuff will be dry. It'll be, you know, however long I said, 24 to 72 hours. I'll come back in 3 days and then I'll sand the backs of them and I'll get this ready to attach. And then we'll talk about it at the end. Okay, it's about 24 hours later and I'm gonna take these off of these nails before they get stuck. And as you can see, I have some cleanup to do on the back, which is no big deal. I'm gonna set these down. Looks pretty cool. I'll clean up that. I think I made a mistake on this one. I think I'm gonna sand this back down and I'll paint this the same color as the house so it'll be like floating numbers. But what I noticed was I poured a lot of excess. You can see how shiny that is. And I didn't try to pop the bubbles on that or anything. Happy accident, I guess. So I'm gonna come back in a couple of days. I'm gonna sand that. I'm gonna sand this and we'll glue them together. And then we'll wrap this thing up. So this is about 4 days later. I have all these drips on the back side of these. I'm gonna sand these off. And I did change my mind on this. I'm gonna sand that off and this will end up get painted the same color as the house. And so it'll look like it's floating numbers on the house. So let's get to sanding. So here it is, my address sign. I think it turned out pretty cool. I could have done a lot better. I poured way too much, but the side effect was the little stands that I made are accidentally super clear now because of the amazing clear cast. Plus, I'm gonna put this on the porch. I'm gonna paint the house and put this on the porch, and we'll see in the long run how long the UV protection works. But super easy to use, super convenient, super clear. And if you're interested in this stuff, Jake 10 at checkout. Get you 10% off your first order, and check out the links below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time, and y'all be good.